Hello and welcome to Geekdomo. Okay, yesterday on Twitter, I was super excited that Bitcoin had hit $800 a coin. And while you're wondering what the hell is that, Geekdomo, I'm going to explain that today. Today we're going to do a little bit of a how-to video, how to get into mining Bitcoins or Litecoins. So first off, I recommend do not bother with Bitcoin, but I'm going to explain what Bitcoins are because that is sort of how Litecoins are too, all right? So Bitcoin is a distributed peer-to-peer digital currency that functions without an intermediation of any central authority. Bitcoin has been called cryptocurrency because it is decentralized and it uses cryptography to control transactions and prevent double spending, a problem for digital currencies. Once validated, every individual transaction is permanently recorded in a public ledger known as a blockchain. Payment processing is done by a network of private computers, often specially tailored to the task. The operators of these computers are known as miners. They are rewarded with transaction fees and a newly minted Bitcoin. However, new Bitcoins are created at an ever-decreasing rate. So that's sort of the definition of what a Bitcoin is and sort of how it works. Litecoin is very similar, and that is what we're going to be talking about today is Litecoin mining. The reason I'm going to talk about mining with Litecoin over Bitcoin is Bitcoin started off with a difficulty of 1, obviously, because it took that amount of time, whatever that was, maybe it was a day, to find a single Bitcoin. You could do that yourself with a CPU back in the early days when it first came out, which is around 2008, 2009. It then moved into the realm that you needed a GPU to do your mining for you because your GPU has a much faster processor RAM rate, and so your GPUs could crank out Bitcoins. And then it got to where you need to have an ASIC processor, which is not included on your computer, and you'd have to either buy one or build one. Now they have banks and banks and banks of these ASIC processors that are just cranking through these algorithms trying to find the coins. So a regular at-home person can pretty much guarantee they will not find a Bitcoin in the next couple of years. Even if they ran their computer 24/7 for years, they might find one coin. The cost of the electricity, totally not worth it. So why we're talking about Litecoins is it's a new currency, and getting into it is very easy right now. We're at the stage that Bitcoin was several years ago, where you can actually still mine these with your GPU. Okay, Geekdomo, so how do I get started mining these coins and making money? Well, first off, you need a wallet. It's a digital wallet, and you can get them from several sites, and I recommend that you get one on an exchange also. And if you're going to ultimately just go to the exchange, we'll talk about exchanges in just a minute, then you probably just want to get your wallet over there. Now, it is a virtual wallet, but it acts like a real wallet. If you had a $100 bill in your real wallet and you lost that wallet, you lose the money. It's the same thing with the digital ones. If you lose where this money is going, or you forget to put the address in correctly, the money just disappears into the nether. It's gone for good. So you got to make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to getting the wallet. For right now, I'm going to recommend that if you're going to be exchanging this money that you're generating to a real currency like US dollars or euros, you're going to want to go to an exchange. And so I recommend getting your wallet on the exchange. And the exchange that I use is BTC-E. And over there, I have a Bitcoin wallet and a Litecoin wallet that I've been sending my coins to. So that's where I have my wallet set up. It's free to get. All you do is you go over there and you get this really, really, really long hash code that becomes your virtual wallet number, and then you put that in your software. We'll talk about the software in a second. You got your wallet. Next, what do you need? You need a pool. You can do this by yourself. You could get the hash from the server and run it yourself without a pool, and it might take you 4 or 5 weeks to find a Litecoin. If you're willing to do that, that's fine. Or you can join a pool, and what the pool does is puts everybody together into a big pool, and you all crank away on these numbers to try to find the coin, and when a coin is found, it's distributed across the pool by how much work you did. So if you ran a really, really slow computer and you did like 2 hashes per second, you're going to get a very tiny piece of that Litecoin compared to somebody who is running 10 million hashes per second. They're going to get a bigger chunk, of course, because they did more of the work. The website I use is WeMineLTC, which is one of the biggest pools out there, and they're really friendly, and then their stuff is just rock solid. It works all the time. So you got your wallet now, then you got your pool. Then what else do you need? You need software to run this. So if you're just now starting off and you don't know what you're doing, I recommend GUI Miner Script. It's GUI Miner SCRYPT because the script is the algorithm that's used to hide the coins. You can use GUI script, and what GUI script does is actually use a program called CG Miner, which is a DOS program in the background. You don't actually see it. It's because you're using the GUI part of it. Now, if you're feeling a little bit more pro, you can actually tweak a few more hashes per second out if you use the CG Miner, and there are several sites out there that teach you how to set that up. That's outside the scope of this video for right now. So you got your wallet, you got your pool, now you got your software to run these codes. What hardware do I use? Well, you're going to need a dedicated GPU card. If you are currently an owner of an AMD card, congratulations. Your card will outperform NVIDIA's card for mining tenfold. Maybe not tenfold, but a lot more. I'll give you an example. I have a brand new GTX 770 superclocked 4 gigabyte card. It's like top of the line that I could get at the time that I could afford. When I run my CG miner with that card, I get around 20,000 hashes per second, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot of hashes per second. But when I run that same CG miner with my old AMD 6970, I get 390,000 hashes per second. AMD has the corner of this market. NVIDIA, sorry guys, it cannot hash these things very well at all. So because of that, I think don't even bother with NVIDIA. They do have a CUDA miner, which is a little bit better. Instead of getting 20,000 hashes per second, I might get 32. But all I got to do is upgrade my card on the AMD side a little bit more, and poof, I'm even higher. What AMD card should I use to mine Litecoins? It all comes down to hashes per second divided by the amount of your electricity cost. So if you have like a brand new, I'll give you an example, the brand new R290X does really good. It gets about 700,000 hashes per second, just shy of 1 million hashes per second. The problem is that card uses a crap load of electricity. So while yes, you are getting more coins, the cost of your electricity is causing you to actually make less money than if you used an older card. The preferred card right now is the AMD 7950. You want to try to find the 3 gigabyte model or higher if they have one out there. Reason for that is it does a very good throughput of around 700,000 hashes per second, which is equivalent to the new 290X, but it does it at like half of the power requirement. So you're getting the same throughput. The new AMD video cards do perform well, but anything other than the 290X is actually an older card anyway. So if you get a 270, I think that's the 7950, which is the card that everyone's recommending anyway, but it actually uses more voltage. So don't bother with that one because you're having the same issue. You're getting less out, but with using more power. So that's why everyone's recommending using a little bit of the older cards right now. If you're a hardcore gamer, the 7950 is still a pretty good card. It's not the top of the line right now, but you can still play a lot of the games at max resolution. But this isn't necessarily about gaming. This is if you have a gaming computer, if you have an AMD video card, you can actually start mining right now and make pretty good amount of coins. So that is basically the hardware you want to use. You want to stick with an AMD. So you got your wallet, you got your pool, you know what software to use. Now we're going to talk about how do I cash out? Where do I get my money out? I've cranked out these coins now, Domo. What do I do with them? What you're going to want to do is go to an exchange like I was just talking about, and I'm using the BTC exchange. What I've done is I've generated all of the coins. They're in my pool's wallet. Basically, it's sort of a wallet on your pool's website. So I've got my money sitting in the pool over there. I then transfer it through the software on the website to my BTC wallet. Once it's in my Litecoin wallet over on the BTC exchange, I can then transfer it from Litecoin into US dollars or euros or whatever other type of currency you want. You can trade the Litecoins for real money, and then they send it to you in PayPal or whatever type of other format you want. You can even get a check, I believe. So that's how you get the money out. So now you've generated the coins, transfer them over to the exchange. At the exchange, you trade them for real money, or you can trade for other cryptocurrencies. You can trade Litecoin for Bitcoin if you want there too. Or vice versa, you can take Bitcoins and trade them into Litecoins. So you've done all that. Bob's your uncle. You've now made money. And all you did was run your computer overnight or all day long with your computer cranking away at these hash algorithm. All right, Geekdomo, so this sounds great and all, but it sounds like it's illegal. It's actually not illegal, although Bitcoin did have some problems earlier on this last year where the feds shut down a website where you could purchase drugs with Bitcoins. Bitcoins are not necessarily used for just purchasing drugs or other illegal stuff on the internet. It actually is becoming a real currency. In Canada, they're going to start allowing you to take Bitcoins out of your ATM machines. Now, economists are really kind of on the fence about this because they see that it's a real currency. It's gaining some real traction, but it's extremely volatile. I'll give you an example of what I mean by volatile. Yesterday morning, I got up and Bitcoin was around $250 a coin. That's just incredible, okay? That's a lot of money for a coin. From yesterday afternoon until about 10 p.m. last night when I was freaking out on my Twitter, it went from $200 to $800 a coin. So if you had 10 coins stocked away and it then went up that high and you cashed out last night, you made $8,000, where before in the morning it was only worth $2,000. It's a huge rate of growth. So then let's say you waited till this morning Bitcoin has fallen from $800 down to $500, $552 right now as we speak. So yes, you have gone up $300 if you had it since the day before, but it's still lost a lot of money overnight. And Litecoin kind of does the same thing, but in a smaller little cycle. It's gone from $4 up to $9 last night, and today it's now down to $5. But this is a coin system that you can sort of stay in for the long haul. If you stay in for a long haul with Litecoin, there's a very good chance it will catch up to what Bitcoin is doing at some point down the road, maybe when the difficulty gets a little harder and all of that. More Litecoins are made than Bitcoin, so the numbers might stay a little bit smaller. Bitcoin is considered like the gold of the cryptocurrency, and Litecoin is considered the silver because there's a little bit more silver in the world than there is gold, and it's a little easier to get silver than it is gold, okay? So realize this, you're dealing with everything being online and virtual. If you are nervous about that, don't get into this. Another thing you can realize is if you've only just run your video card overnight hashing out these algorithms, you haven't really lost anything other than the fact you've used up some electricity, okay? Now, if you're going nuts and you're buying 50 video cards, 25 computers, and you're going to hash these things out so you can get 10 million hashes per second or more, or whatever, go for it. But don't blame me if the market crashes and then you have nothing left. For everybody else, if you're doing this sort of as a hobby thing, why not try it out? It's fun. You're not really losing anything. If I run my computer all day long anyway because I use it as a server for the media, and my whole house runs off of my computer, so it's already running anyway. So I'm just basically using up a little more electricity than I was if I didn't have that before. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you can kind of understand a little bit more about what Bitcoins and Litecoins are. And if you want to get in now with Litecoin. The difficulty rating on Litecoin, it just went to 1300. And probably I think next week it'll probably trip up to maybe like 1600. It will continue to go up. So the longer that you wait to get in, the less money you're actually going to make. So that's what I'm saying. Get in now if you want to. If not, just check it out. I'm hoping you understood a little bit more about Litecoin, Bitcoins after this particular episode. And I will be on tonight with my normal Starcast, and we'll see you soon. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. This is Geekdomo. Until next time, saying, see ya.